Dearest NBA fans, Scoot Henderson is a changed man now. Don't believe it? Watch the video till the end to know how Scoot Henderson is all turned over a new leaf now. To kick off the season, Scoot Henderson was one of the most criticised rookies that the world has ever seen. Through the first 9 games of his career, he averaged just 8 points, 4 assists and 4 turnovers on some not so great shooting splits. So it was pretty evident where the backlash was coming from. But the guy was 19 years old, just getting his first reps in the NBA, and for a lot of players it takes a few months to really figure things out. That's the stage we're entering in Scoot's first year. Over his last 12 games he's averaging about 15 and 4, only turning the ball over twice, and the efficiency is on a completely different level. With that, Portland's offense has been on another level, clearly reaping the benefits of Scoot's improvements. Coming into the NBA, his big draw was a freakish athletic profile. He has one of those lightning-quick first steps that can only be described as jarring. A defender loses focus for just a millisecond and all of a sudden he's exploding into a drive. There's one where it looks like he's setting up a dribble handoff, and as soon as Booker positions himself to play it, Scoot instead bursts downhill and takes off for an attempt to put Nurkic on a poster. He doesn't need any momentum to take that first step, he's just as explosive from a standstill, throwing a couple of jabs and fakes before attacking baseline. Christian Wood never had a chance. And it's not just about choosing an angle, but timing it right. He waits until the precise moment that Crowder can't recover before starting his drive. With Giannis coming up to help, notice how he leads with his body, jumping into his chest to set up a finish. That's a tactic Scoot uses a lot whenever a shot blocker stands in between him and the basket. Instead of turning away, he'll jump right into their body as a way to create separation. This one starts way out in space. You've got the initial burst and a vicious push crossover to create a lane. And he has developed a habit of launching himself into non-existent opportunities, which is the culprit for some really poor finishing numbers. Of the 155 players that have attempted at least 100 shots at the rim, he's dead last in efficiency at about 47%, while no other player is below 53%. The league average at the rim is over 66%, so we're talking about a near 20% disparity. With that said, he's got some tools working for him in these spots, and as he figures out how to use them, he should improve drastically. First is his strength. He's big. And by big, we mean 6'3", and that really helps him on those plays where he seeks out contact and finds it. Next is his length, which gives him access to angles that other players simply can't get to, like this up and under around the body of Chad Holmgren. When it all comes together, the burst, strength and length, even though he's not shooting well at the rim, he's still getting there pretty much whenever he wants. The constant pressure forces the defense into rotation where he can showcase maybe his best attribute, playmaking. A lot of times, you'll see help load up early. He's just starting on a drive when Gordon parks at the nail, and with a simple kick out, his teammates got a wide open top of the key triple. He's already a very good passer. This time, in semi-transition, 2 defenders load up to wall him off from the paint, leaving nobody to pick up a streaking cutter. The tools and skills are one thing, but putting them to use is another. You'd think that an athletic phenom like this would be getting a lot of opportunities in transition, but the Blazers are one of the slowest teams in the NBA. When the ball's in Scoot's hands, he's typically running lots of pick and roll. Even when a big one comes up to meet him at the level, he's a nightmare to contain. What 7-footer is going to stay in front of that? So what you'll see most of the time is Big sitting back in a deep drop, and the key for him is finding ways to score in that short mid-range. He really likes this float, using his vertical pop to quickly get it up and over the defense, and he can even use that as a way to manipulate defenders. It looks like he's setting it up, but actually blends it into a lob for Aon to protect the big man from having to deal with that. A lot of defenders will choose to go under the screen, leaving him with space to pull up for a jump. Another one of his notable qualities coming into the league was his use of the mid-range as a counter. You can see that here, he gets the switch onto Porras, who's more worried about protecting the paint from that slashing, so he just pulls up for an elbow jumper. This time, Caruso is going to stay glued to him off the screen, but because he's stuck on Scoot's hip, that leaves him with space to fade into a one-legged bucket. He's already pretty good at creating separation for himself. Of course, due to his strength, the classic bump mid-range is always an option. And he also has that more methodical approach when needed, holding his defender in jail as he works his way to the paint before stepping back into a jumper over the top of Claxton. Here's another one where he puts his defender in jail, the right idea, and a higher level driver like John R. or Anthony Edwards would likely continue attacking open space on the right side of the paint to force Chat into a tough decision. But he doesn't see that and instead falls back on the low percentage jumper. There's really only one other thing that could be talked about, and it's something that no one is really sure what to make of. It's simply the fact that he's shooting surprisingly well on pull-up threes, something that was viewed as a big weakness. He's made about 37 of these, although it's still a really small sample, just 68 attempts. So it's more something to track moving forward as opposed to a legitimate attribute right now. Because of his slashing, teams often leave him with space, whether that means less pressure on the ball or a softer coverage in the pick and roll. And if he can knock them down with even semi-consistency, well, we've got to revisit discussions about his ceiling. As for what that looks like right now, we're talking about a big, lengthy combo guard who's already shown he can play on and off the ball with some of the most impressive athletic tools you'll find in the league. Wouldn't you agree if we say that Scoot is definitely the NBA's charm? The National Basketball Association, NBA, stands as one of the premier professional basketball leagues globally, captivating fans with its high level of competition, athleticism, and a global appeal. Founded in 1946, the NBA has grown into a powerhouse sports organization with a rich history and a global fan base. One key aspect that sets the NBA apart is its roster of talented and iconic players. Over the years, the league has seen legendary figures such as Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, and Shaquille O'Neal, who have not only left an indelible mark on the game, but also elevated the league's popularity worldwide. The NBA's ability to showcase top-tier talent has contributed significantly to its widespread recognition. Beyond the on-court action, the NBA has embraced innovation and global expansion. The introduction of the three-point line, iconic events like the Slam Dunk Contest during All-Star Weekend, and the implementation of advanced analytics have kept the league at the forefront of sports entertainment. Additionally, the NBA has successfully reached international audiences through initiatives like the Global Games and the drafting of international players who have become stars in their own right. Off the court, the NBA has been active in addressing social issues and promoting social justice. Players and teams have used their platforms to advocate for positive change, making the league a trailblazer in sports activism. In recent years, the NBA has also adapted to the evolving media landscape, embracing digital platforms and creating engaging content to connect with fans around the world. The league's dedication to staying relevant and innovative has solidified its status as a global sports phenomenon. As the NBA continues to evolve, it remains a dynamic force in the world of sports, captivating audiences with its thrilling games, iconic personalities, and commitment to making a positive impact on and off the court. And now, back on Scoot. He remains raw in terms of finishing around the rim, shot making, and can be a little questionable with his decision making. So while he's hitting a stride right now, it'll still take some time for him to really start impacting games consistently. Either way, the flashes are there and becoming more apparent with every game. So, make sure you buy your stock before it's all out, because the Scoot Henderson that struggled to start the season is not the same Scoot Henderson. Hope you liked watching our video. If you enjoyed watching this video, then click on like and definitely subscribe to our channel. Share your ideas and views in the comment section below.